the picture what you said.
All right. Yeah, just coming with a live, you know? Yes. Let me see who's on the live talking about cancer, advancement of cancer, and what idols do to keep the cancer from spreading to different places. And if the cancer is spreading, we're going to show you or teach you some things you can do to keep the cancer from getting to the organs, you know? All right, and yeah, we wanted to do this program because a lot of people dying from cancer. I mean, Grenada is full of it too. So we just wanted to educate our people on not only cancer prevention, but what you can do besides chemotherapy, radiation, and surgery. All right, so we don't want to stay too long. Good night, everybody. Sophie, good night. We want to make sure that you share the live, and I want you to share the live with somebody who you know have cancer. Now the question is, I'm sure that lots of people looking at this presentation tonight know someone who have cancer or who died from that disease, yeah? Or who is suffering or who's in hospice, yeah? I'm sure that someone who's looking at this program tonight knows someone who is suffering from cancer or is dying from cancer, who had cancer, you know what I mean? So we're going to teach you how to deal with cancer, yeah? Although it's a detrimental disease, I'm going to teach you how you can fix it. All right? Hey, son. Come, son. Turn me back. Over here, son. It's my son right here. He can do all the things for me tonight. Wonderful. Give thanks and praise to the Most High. All right. Yes, son. All right, now, I'm not a medical doctor, but I learned from a few great doctors. One special doctor that I learned a lot from was Dr. Mitchell Gaynor. He died now, he's an oncologist. He was one of the most active oncologists in America. And he not only used chemotherapy, but he also went back to nature and also helped lots of people who had cancer. He died. They said he committed suicide. I don't know if that's true or not, but that is one of the doctors I look up to, an oncologist. Dr. Jeffrey Downs again. I learned a lot from them. And I'm always saying that we are not too old to learn, and I'm also want to say that the medical system is also significant. Yeah? And that is the reason why we have to try to understand how they work, and they have to understand how we work also. Because chemotherapy don't fix cancers. Radiation don't fix cancer either. They give you cancers. And they give you other diseases like neuropathy. You know what I mean? Damage to the hair, damage to the bones, damage to this, damage to that. So they're not really a quick fix, yeah? Herbal medicine also is not a cure for cancer either. So don't let any herbalist make you feel that herbs cure cancer. That's not true at all. But the difference with the herbs and the chemical man is the herbs can go in and the herbs can help the body to balance so that your body can heal itself. That is the difference. You see what I'm saying? Whereby the chemotherapy kills good and kills bad. Yeah? And also give you different diseases. Radiation also can cause secondary cancers. And surgery, when you remove that organ that have the cancer, does not mean that your cancer is in remission. You see? Because they only remove the part of the body that have the cancer, but the cancer is still there. And that is the reason why my good friend who removed her uterus, her cervix, her ovaries, and did all the chemotherapy and all the radiation, the cancer still came back, and now she's suffering. Yeah? And that's why I'm going to fly back to New York next week to see about my sister. Yeah? Wonderful. So let's go over here. Now your doctor going to do some tumor markers. Yeah? So when you go to a doctor and you have a lump in your breast, he will do what we call a CA 15.3. A CA means a carcinogen antigen test. Now, a CA 15.3 does not mean that you have cancer, but it's a marker to tell your doctor if there is cancer in your breast or not. Yeah? Then you have a CA 27.29. Now, the CA 27.29, if the woman have breast cancer and her CA 15.3 is high, and the cancer is moving from the breast into the lymphatic system, we know for a fact now that once the cancer moves into the lymph nodes, it can carry it into the lung. So the doctor will do a CA 27.29 because the CA 15.3 can cause a CA 27.29 to rise. So he will tell you that your cancer is spreading from the breast into your lung. And that's the reason why I said before, the medical system is very significant. That's where they are very important. So the cancer marker, CA 15.3, don't forget, if you have a friend or you have breast cancer, always ask your doctor for these two markers, a CA 15.3 and a CA 27.9, because breast cancer can cause the CA 27.9 to rise. And here your doctor will know for a fact that your cancer is going into your lung or your chest cavity. Yeah? There is a cancer marker of the pancreas and the intestines. So if you do have pancreatic cancer, the doctor will do a CA 19.9. And that CA 19.9 will give the doctor an idea if there is cancer in the pancreas or if there is cancer in the FU organs. FU organs mean the lower bowel, which is the large intestines. The ovaries have a tumor marker called a CA 125. Now I want to say again, not because the markers are high mean that the woman have ovarian cancer either, because the CA 125 can rise if the woman is pregnant or if she is also going through a menstrual cycle. But if there is no cycle and a woman having what we call ovarian pain, she can also let her doctor do a CA 125 to determine if there is troubles in her ovaries. And then there is one called a CEA, a carcinogen embryonic antigen test, and that will also tell your doctor what's going on with your cancer. Okay? If it's normal, if the cancer is active. And that's why these tumor markers are important. All right, now we're going to start now. Now, we know for a fact in the medical system, they tell you that when you have cancer, your cancer goes from stages. So we're going to talk about stages of cancer in advancement. How do your cancer develop and how do your cancer advance? And what you can do to prevent the cancer from advancing more into your organs. And that is where herbal medicine comes in. Okay? Because the chemotherapy can only treat you, but it cannot cure you. And we know for a fact that chemotherapy is a big business. You understand? Yeah? Now, stages of cancer advancement. First, we're going to talk about initiation, which is mutation. Mutation means in the medical system your cell change. Yeah? So it mutates or transforms a normal cell into a latent cancer cell. That's what they call initiation in the medical system. When the cell initiates, that cell that initiates remain inactive and is no different from a normal cell, but it is vulnerable, yeah, to change. Don't forget. So even though you have a cell that mutates and initiates, it does not mean that cancer can turn into that cell can turn into a cancer cell. Yeah? Unless you, the individual, use the foods that will cause your cell to go through a promotion. I want to educate you. So I want to teach you that even though the cancer starts moving, what you can do to prevent that cancer cell from creating blood vessels so it don't feed and cause you to die long term. Write it for me, please. Here we go. So, the cell that initiates, it remains inactive, and it is no different from a normal cell, but it is a vulnerable cell which can change. It can change now. It's still sick, but it didn't change yet. Now I'm going to teach you what foods you can use to prevent these cells from changing when they mutate. The cell can be ravaged by free radicals, causing promotion into a cancer cell. So now your doctor says, oh, I found a tumor in your breast. I found a tumor in your pancreas. I found a tumor in your liver. I found a tumor in your sigmoid colon or your transverse colon. Yeah? But the cancer is not active because he just initiated into a sick cell. Yeah? Now, once he is sick, this cell that is sick can be ravaged by free radicals, they call molecules, that can cause that cell that initiated or mutate into a cancer cell through promotion. I want you all to follow me now, because Grenadians are full of cancer. St. Lucia, full of it too. Jamaica and Antigua, full of it. Yeah? And it's affecting lots of younger people now. So now, we want to prevent your cells from promoting itself to become cancerous. So the foods that can prevent promotion, because once you initiate, that cell is going to be promoted. And when it promotes now, it is getting more deadly for you. Here's what you got to do for me. Once your cell initiates, and you don't want that cell to go through the process of promotion, like a lieutenant or sergeant is going to be a captain or lieutenant, they give him a promotion. You don't want that to happen to your cell, because once that cell promotes itself, it is going to be more detrimental to you, the individual. So, right here, boom, chlorophyll. You can take chlorophyll, you can put it in some water, some coconut water. Yeah? 1 teaspoon of the chlorophyll. And you put it in some water, and you drink that every day. And that will prevent your cells from promoting itself into a cancer cell. Chlorophyll does that. But they don't teach you that in the medical system because they don't know better. Because they were not taught in medical school how to prevent that cell from promoting itself. They were taught how to cut off your breast, cut off your kidney, take a piece of your lung out, take out your gallbladder, take out your appendix, remove your tonsils. That's what they were taught. But in our medicine, the chlorophyll prevents that cell that initiates or mutates to promote itself. It stops it from doing that, so it don't go through the process of promotion. Green tea does that, prevents the cell from going through promotion. Grapes with the seeds does that. Tangerines does that. Ginger does that. Garlic does that. Turmeric does that. Onions does that. They all prevent that cell from going through the process of promotion so that you don't let that cancer progress into a cancer cell and cause havoc in your organ system. Next one. Now, once your cell initiates, mutate, it goes through the process of promotion. Once you let that cell promote itself, you are looking to get troubles long term. Yeah? So, you have to look at the foods that cause your cells to promote itself and cause you to get cancer long term. Fried foods, greasy foods, cigarettes, excessive amount of alcohol, refined carbohydrates, and too much red meat. All these foods will cause your cell, after initiation and mutation, to promote itself. Once that cell promotes itself, the transformed cells are promoted by nutrients and or metabolites or metabolism of your foods, causing these cells to divide and multiply. That's if you are eating the fried foods, the barbecue, the cigarettes, the excessive amount of alcohol, the refined carbohydrates, and all the red meat. It will promote if it initiates. Yeah? So the transformed cells are promoted by nutrients and or metabolites or metabolism of the foods, causing these cells to divide and multiply. Now, phase 2. Your precancerous cells, masses, are formed, but they are not yet malignant. Why? Because if you are using all the foods that I'm going to teach you to use, these cells cannot become malignant. They will stay sick or mutate, but they can never turn. And that's what the medical system don't teach you. Yeah, because they tell you to go back and eat the same foods that gave you the cancer and cause your cells to mutate or promote themselves into a cancer cell. Yeah? So phase 2, pre-cancerous masses are formed in the promotion stage, but they are not yet malignant. So for instance, if a woman go and do a pap smear and the doctor says to her, you have cervical dysplasia, we know for a fact that that cell in the woman's cervix just mutate or change, but it is not a cancer cell yet. It is just a sick cell. So we will give the woman what? Folate acid and vitamin E. And when we give the woman that folate acid and that vitamin E, that cell will go back and normalize itself instead of being a sick cell. They don't teach you these things. Yeah? So I'm going to teach you now. Once your cell mutates, I'm going to teach you the foods that you can use to prevent that cell from progressing into a cancer cell. Because as I said before, phase 2, pre-cancerous masses are formed, but they are not yet malignant. They're just sick. And I just gave you an example, like a woman who has cervical dysplasia. If she used folate acid and vitamin E, the cells come back to normal because folate acid deals with cell division. Yeah? So although your cell is sick, you can prevent that cell from progressing into a cancer cell. But because you ain't no better, You go eating the same foods every day, and you are creating more free radicals, and the more free radicals you create, you are feeding themselves to grow and cause havoc in your bloodstream. Let's go to the next one. Now, once a woman has cervical dysplasia and her cells change, we give her folic acid, we give the woman vitamin E, and we give the woman carotenoids. And these foods inhibit promotion of cancer. Yeah? That's the food that God put on the earth for us to use. You know, but man is giving us cancers. The food that man is creating for us is giving us cancers. Yeah? Everything he put his hand on is cancerous. He's giving us cancer. So we cannot blame the Most High Jehovah God. Don't blame him. Blame the man. So once you have dysplasia in the cervix, you, the woman, go and get some folic acid. Take 2,000 to 3,000 micrograms per day. You, the woman, take 400 to 800 IU of vitamin E per day. And you use lots of food that have lots of carotenoids, and you will inhibit that cell in your cervix, promoting it into a cancer cell. And then if you have a cell that is promoted now, you have to go and use turmeric. You got to go and use rosemary. You got to use quercetin. You got to use onions. You got to use bromelain. You got to use red clover and prevent promotion and progression. Once you can use these foods, once the cells are in the promotion state. Yeah? And I learned all these things from a great doctor. But he can't say it in the medical system because they won't take away his license. He taught me well. And I'm going to teach you. Yeah? And that's the reason why when they send you to hospice and I come and see you, I realize that your cells are promoted and migrated already. And I was taught what to do from the earth. And I take you out to hospice. Because God is great, but he's the ultimate healer of all things. So once you have a cell that is promoted into a state where you know will get cancer, you have to jump on the folic acid. You have to jump on the carotenoids. You have to jump on the vitamin E. You have to jump on turmeric, quercetin, onions, bromelain, red clover. And they will prevent promotion, and they also will prevent progression of the cancer, of the bad cell. They don't teach you that because that is a business to them. You must go take a chemotherapy and your radiation for 5 years. You still die. Let's go to progression now. Now your cancer initiates or mutates, and then it progresses or promoted. And then after promotion, because you're still eating the same foods, you're eating the same barbecue, you're drinking excessive amount of alcohol, you're still smoking cigarettes, you still don't sleep at night, you're eating food late at night, lot of fried foods, fried this, fried chicken, fried rice, fried this in the nighttime, and you are now promoting, and now the cells say, okay, sucker, you now promote me, I am going to progress now. So there are cells that mutate and promoted himself, he progresses himself. Precancerous masses in progression, the progression stage. You are now precancerous masses. Or the precancerous masses become cancerous now. And your doctor says to you, hey, you got cancer. Yeah? Because now you're moved from the initiation stage, the mutation stage, into the promotion stage, and now you are in the progression stage. People, I'm going to teach you all to bring it back. So when you're in a progression state, so your cancer's in the breast, it moves into the lymphatic system. Or the cancer's in your intestines. It moves to your liver. Or the cancer is in your liver and it moves to your lung. Or the cancer is in your lung and it moves to your liver. or the cancer is in the pancreas and move to the stomach. They call it middle burner. Because now you are progressed. You are progressed. You go from promotion to progression because they didn't teach you how to use the foods to prevent progression and prevent promotion. So progression, your precancerous masses become cancerous and began dividing rapidly now. So they call your cancer aggressive, especially sarcoma cancers of the cartilage. They call it aggressive now because now he is now dividing rapidly because you're making progress. You can't make him progress. You have to keep him in the mutation stage and make him commit cell death, apoptosis, or eat the foods that can make him go back to the resting place. Yeah? So when you make him progress, he's not precancerous. He becomes so big, he starts to divide rapidly now, and they call him aggressive and say, yo, you got to take 15 treatment of chemotherapy because the cancer is very aggressive. And then you got to do some radiation after that because he's very aggressive now. Because you let him, that one cell, promote himself and reach to the stage where he's progressing and start rapidly to divide and conquer your system. So when he reach in the progression stage, what do you have to do? Patrick does. You have to get you a fatty acids for your cell membranes. You have to go to the flavonoid foods, ackee berry, lycium fruit, yeah, noni, gooseberries, strawberries, raspberries, blueberries. Those are the foods you have to go to once you are in a stage of progression. And lots of vegetable juices. Yeah? Walnuts. Citrus pectin from tangerines. Orange peel, grapefruit skin, lime peel. They are the bosses because they have lots of linolein that prevent these cells from growing into your system. Lignans and herbs like burdock root and red clover and guinea hen weed and periwinkle and sheep sorrel. Oh my, all of them. And these herbs will remove the progressive state, preventing them cells from dividing rapidly. Because why, Patrick does? Because they are coming from nature. Once you are in a progressive state, that is what you have to use because now your cancer is aggressive. He began to divide rapidly. He tried to move all over. That's what you have to do. So there's always a way to prevent these cells from progressing. We're going further again. I'm going to teach you. One more time. Now, mutation, initiation, mutation, promotion, progression, invasion, and metastasis. Because you're still eating pork, you're still eating greasy foods, you're still eating fried foods, you are creating more free radicals, molecules, that steal your electron. You're still doing that. Yeah? You ain't going to the greens, you ain't going to the fruits, you ain't going to the nuts and seeds. You're still eating the wrong foods. So now, from your progressive state, your cancer progresses, he goes to the state of invasion. You know what invasion means? America invaded Iraq. America invaded Grenada. Ooh, my goodness. We invaded now. The same way a nation invades another nation is the same way your cells invade. He invades you now. They call it invasion and metastasis. And now your tumor cells cross the tissue's compartment and is now intermixing with other cells now and turning these other cells into criminals. so they could harm you. You follow me? I tell people every day, the medical system is important, but they don't fix cancer. You understand? You have to fix it for yourself. You have to go back to the earth system because you are from the earth. The earth don't belong to us. The earth is the Lord's, and the fullness thereof, and they that dwell within. We are from the earth, and that's why we go back to the earth after we die. So if you are from the earth, all your cures are found in the midst, in the earth. So when you go to the invasion process of metastasis, now, your tumor cells cross tissue compartments and it intermix with other cells, like you have biracial marriages, intermix, a black man marry a white woman marry a black man, a Chinese man will marry a black woman, and they intermix now. Follow me now, Jehovah God. Cross tissue compartment and intermix with other cells. The tumor cells now, follow me now, this is important now. Once they intermix with other cells, these tumor cells now attach to your membranes, secreting enzymes that break down your membranes until the tumor cell can penetrate. I want you to follow me. Leave it right there, son. Invasion. Your tumor cells now, because you eat the wrong foods, you make it progress from promotion, and you make it invade now. He's invading you now because you're eating the same foods. You're stopping him. You're making him come and invade your system. Yeah? He crossed the tissue compartment and he intermixed with other cells, turning these other cells into criminals. And your tumor cells now, they attach to the membranes, and once they attach to the membranes, they start secreting enzymes that break down the membranes until the tumor cells can penetrate, oh my goodness, all the organs into the bloodstream. And once it penetrates now, he say, you know what? You sucker, you let me go for mutation. You let me go to promote myself. You let me go to the form of progression. And now, I now invade now, and once I invade now, I will migrate throughout your bloodstream. So he migrates. Just like we leave Grenada, go to America. Just like we leave St. Lucia and go to the UK. Just like we leave Jamaica and go to Haiti. Just like we leave Haiti and go to Trinidad or Santo Domingo, we migrate. It's just the exact way these cells work. They migrate. The only problem is we migrate to do good things, and some of us do migrate and do bad things. These guys, cancer cells, they migrate to do the wrong things because they are criminals. So they migrate through your bloodstream. And that is when the trouble starts, because the blood starts to carry them. Now, look at the nutrients for migration and invasion. Look at the nutrients. The nutrients for when your cells migrate or invade, they call the stages. MCP, modified citrus pectin, from orange peel, tangerine, grapefruit skin, because they encode these criminals so they can't migrate. Yeah? It's just like when you're living in Haiti in a boat. A lot of our brothers and sisters from Haiti leave Haiti in a boat and they want to go from Cuba and Haiti to America. Before they can migrate, who stopped them? The immigration stopped them. Am I correct, son? Immigration stopped them. Yeah? So they can't migrate. And they put them in a pen. So before these cells migrate, because they're going to move to the bloodstream, you have to get some MCP to encode them so they don't migrate. And then your immune system, your God-given immune system, which is your Air Force and your Army and your Marines, will open them and kill them. Just like they put in the virus, the polio vaccine virus, into a tumor right now to open the cells and kill the virus with the immune system, is the same exact things happen in nature. But they can pattern this. They can pattern the polio vaccine. They can pattern the virus and push it into a tumor in a lab and cause the tumor to shrink. And they can pattern that from the CDC, but they can't pattern MCP. It's not a money-making business for them. But these foods will stop the migration because they're what we call immigration officers. So your MCP is the immigration officer. Your grape seed extract is the immigration officer. Your skin from the grape itself, is an immigration officer. Your tangerines are immigration officers. Your flavonoids are immigration officers. They will stop them suckers before they can invade or migrate to your liver or to your lung or to your brain. They stop them from migrating. Sheep sorrel, selenium, glutathione, NAC, red clover, holy immune, which is made by oncologist Dr. Jeffrey Downs, by shao, alfalfa, rosemary, gota cola, all of them. They will prevent the migration of these criminals that is going into the bloodstream to coat to camouflage, to fool your immune system. These here will uncoat them because they're immigration officers. But if you use the wrong foods, they can pass through and settle in your organs. But I'm going to teach you how to get them out of the organs too. Follow me now. Let's go again. Migration. Migration. The cancer cells leave the tumor mass, and that cancer cell now migrates throughout the blood vessels and lymph system. Follow me now. Hear what I said? I said migration. That cancer cell or cells that form these tumors now, they start to leave the tumor mass and they migrate throughout your blood vessels, your bloodstream, and the blood vessels, and your lymph system, because the lymph system is vessels and fluids that flow parallel to the bloodstream, intra and ultra. Yeah. Through all the blood vessels and the lymph system, while spreading to distant places like the brain, like the lung, like the liver, like the pancreas, like the blood, like the lymph system. Migration, because your immigration officers was at sleep. They were sleeping on the goddamn job. Why? Because they was eating in the nighttime. They were sitting and eating a set of pork. They were eating all the fried foods. They didn't get no goddamn sleep. They have bad mind. They have too much hate and jealousy, and they envy us. So all this immigration was so messed up that these guys migrated with all the immigration, stopping them from migration. So once he migrates, these cancer cells leave the tumor mass and migrate through all the blood vessels and lymph system, while spreading to distant places. The foods that you have to use to stop them from migration by increasing the immigration count of officers is tempeh and mescal and genistein and diastin and red clover and orange peel and tangerine skin and flavonoids and carotenoids, because they prevent migration, because they are what we call dread marines and dread immigration officers. These guys, tempeh, fatty acids, they are the ones that prevent migration. You see? But in the medical system, the man do not know how to prevent migration. That's why you give him chemotherapy and radiation, because he was not taught in medical school how to prevent migration naturally. Yeah? Wonderful. Let's go again. Proteins. have to be used to prevent migration. Red clover have to be used to prevent migration, the immigration officers. Mist coal, IP6, vitamin C in abundance, B6 and zinc for the thymus gland, to increase thymosin so that your thymus gland can produce T lymphocytes. They call them natural killer cells or cytotoxic cells that let go toxins to kill these cells. Because that's what cytotoxic cells do. But you're eating the bad foods. So you cannot create no cytotoxic cells. Your NK cells are more messed up. Your B cells ain't working well because you're eating wrong. And that is why your cancer cells can migrate and cause havoc in your organs and cause weakness and death long-term called cachexia. Blood vessels formation. Let's look at blood vessel formation now. We call it angiogenesis. Blood vessel formation is called angiogenesis. That is what the medical system is not to stop yet. The medical system do not know how to prevent angiogenesis, and that is the reason why they can't fix cancers. They do not know, like Dr. Woodward said, how to make yourself go back to the resting place. They don't know how to do that yet. So that's why you take all the chemotherapy, and after 3 or 4 years, your cancer come back. After you do the stem cell transplant or the bone marrow transplant, 5, 6 years, 8 years, the cancer come back. Yeah? Because they do not know how to prevent angiogenesis, don't get cancer. Yeah? So the blood vessel formation is called angiogenesis. Cancerous masses create blood vessels. Why do they create blood vessels, Patrick? They create blood vessels allowing the tumor to receive oxygen and nutrients. Lots of people say, oh, cancer can live in oxygen. That's not true. That's false information. We were taught wrong. Cancer can live in oxygen. But too much oxygen is not good for your cells, and too much oxygen is not good for cancer cells either. But they can live in oxygen because they create or receive oxygen and nutrients to survive. Because without oxygen and nutrients, they can't survive. See? So that's what we call it blood vessel formation, called angiogenesis. So the blood vessel formation is now, your cells go from what? Initiation, mutation, promotion, progression. Yeah? It goes to invasive, metastasis. And you still let it go and migrate. So once he migrates now, he's inside your system, and he starts to what? Deal with what we call blood vessel formation, what they call angiogenesis in the medical system. Yeah? He now creates blood vessels, allowing him, the tumor, to receive oxygen and nutrients so he can grow. And you can have a big lump in your neck, big lump in your breast, big lump on your arm, the liver big and hard because the tumors are big, because they are growing, because they know they are dealing with blood vessel formation. Go again. I'm going to teach my people. In order for a tumor to grow beyond a certain size, it must develop what Patrick does. I want a nurse who is looking at this program to answer me. A nurse or a doctor who is looking at this program right here, answer this question. In order for a tumor to grow beyond a certain size, it must develop what nurses, what doctors? It must develop something. In order for that tumor to grow beyond a certain size, more than 3 centimeters, he must develop what? Vascular lateral. In order for a tumor to grow beyond a certain size, he must develop vascular lateral. Vascular lateral. Blood vessels that is connected to the heart muscle to send the blood to all other organs. So your tumor grow beyond a certain size and it develop what we call vascular tumor so that he now can feed himself. You see, you follow me now? That's why cancer keep on spreading. Because you do not know how to prevent him, the cancer, from creating all these blood vessels. Hear what he does again. Capillary blood vessels are needed by your cancer cell. Don't forget, Patrick, that. Capillary blood vessels are needed by your cancer cells or tumor to become larger. Capillary blood vessels are needed for that tumor to keep on growing. So you are feeding that cancer. And then the capillary blood vessels are needed now, they keep on growing, and he, the cancer cell, is creating more of them because you're doing the wrong things. You're not starving him, and the more you feed him, the heart muscle that is, vascular tumor, you feed him. Once you start feeding him, he starts growing more than 3 centimeters, and now the tumor start growing in your pancreas, in the head or the tail, or the tumor start growing in your kidney or in your ovaries, on your cervix, in your lung, and you start getting cancer pain because the tumor is now so big, it starts leaning on the nerves and give you nerve pain. Or it's in your bones and give you bone pain, multiple myeloma. You see, so you have to know, prevent the cancer cell from creating all these vessels so he don't feed. So I'm going to teach you how to do that now. Woo, God is great. God damn, boy. Important information. I want you to mark it down for me. Important information. Vascular endothelial growth factor, they call it VEGF in the medical system. It is a well-known angiogenesis inducer. Vascular endothelial growth factor, VEGF, is a well-known angiogenesis inducer. Yeah? You know where it comes from? It comes from your cells' intelligence. And any oncologist will tell you that. Vascular endothelial growth factor, VEGF, the medical system will tell you that, is a well-known angiogenesis inducer, and its origination is coming from our cells' intelligence. Because the mission of this cancer cell is to take over, they call it a coup. Yeah? So when you live in a country and a man come and take over your government, that's a coup. The cancer cell doing the same thing to you internally. He is causing a coup because he won't take you over. So the mission of all cancer cells or cancer is to take over, called a coup, and seeks what it needs to do to you to survive. That is the mission of the cancer cell. If you take over, called a coup, take over your liver, take over your lung, take over your colon, take over your pancreas, go in your brain and take it over. Because he is causing a coup. Because he wants to survive. And that is why you can't feed him. But they don't tell you that you come out and eat the same food, you take the chemotherapy, you go back and eat the same foods. Hey, doc, what can I eat? Go back and eat the same chicken, man. Hey, doc, what can I eat? Go back and eat your barbecue food. Hey, doc, what can I eat? Go back and drink your dairy products. And then after a couple of years, your cancer come right back again because he didn't know better. That's why Dr. Lauren Day is so special. Because she's a doctor, didn't take no chemotherapy. Chucky Ventura didn't take no chemotherapy. But she's stuck on a program, and she's 17 years cancer-free. And she was stage 4 cancer. Dr. Lauren Day, look her up. Chucky Ventura, look him up. And he have 2 children. They wanted to take out his prostate gland. Take out your prostate gland, you got cancer in the prostate gland. Chucky, the hell no. 15 years, no, Chucky's cancer-free. Have 2 kids. Dig that. Yeah? Foods that can help strengthen the vascular walls. So, if you want the cancer cell to avoid creating more vessels, we call capillary blood, yeah, and vascular blood, you have to strengthen the vascular walls of your internal terrain. And once you strengthen your vascular wall, that cancer cell can never ever create blood vessels. He will starve and he will die. But if you're going to drink soda pops, if you're going to drink lots of sugary foods, if you're going to eat lots of dairy products, eating lots of meat, flesh food with eyes, and not going to the bathroom, you're still constipated. You're having 3 meals per day. You're not food combining. Your body's not alkaline. Your vascular walls can never be strong. Because the key is to strengthen the organs and strengthen the vascular walls. And once the vascular wall is strong, that cancer can never, ever, ever create no blood vessels. He won't die. Because they won't kick him out of the house. Flavonoids and food with anthocyanins, which are cherries, tomatoes, cabbages with sulfur, fermented soy, mescal, tempeh, gelatin, diastin. These are the foods that strengthen the vascular walls. And these are the foods that prevent angiogenesis. They don't teach you that. And that is why Dr. Mitchell Gaynor was so successful with cancer treatment, because he went back to nature. And that is why some of them who still deal with the chemotherapy and radiation is not successful, because they don't go back to nature. So you have to strengthen the vascular walls. And you have to feed the body flavonoids and foods that have lots of anthocyanins. Cherries, tomatoes, cabbages, purple foods, blue foods, green foods, yellow foods, all that kind of foods, the rainbow. And you will strengthen the vascular walls. And once the vascular walls are strong and you have them organs strong, you can never ever die from cancer. And that is why the lady in Grenada right now, they sent her home to die, and she came here, and I said to her, listen to me, you dying, you say you're dying, don't say you're dying at all. You ain't dying because you're still alive. You're not eating, I will make you eat. The man who was blind, Christ said, must spit on the ground and get some clay. And Christ did it, spit on the ground, boom, spit, boom, boom, and he wiped the man's eyes. He said, go and wash it in the sea. And the man washed it, and the man said, oh shoot, I could see everything from the earth. God damn. Yeah, man. Yeah. So these are the foods you got to use. If you are in the migration stage and your cancer is already moving, yeah? Lastly, you must stimulate your organs. Just like how you're going to strengthen the vascular walls, you have to stimulate your organs. You have to go to the process that we call one of the 8 metatherapy, is to stimulate them. Once they're stimulated, these organs can throw off any sickness that you have. You have to purify the blood. You must deal with blood purification. You must deal with blood purification because the blood is your life. And the blood will carry that cell into the organ system and kill you long term. You must keep the blood purified. Yeah? And that's why the Most High tell you, do not eat anything that is strangled, because the blood is still there. He's the master. Jehovah God, Yahweh is the master. He said, do not eat anything that is strangled. You push a blade in the neck and you drain the blood out, because the blood is the life. So you must purify the blood. You must purge the full organs. You have to purge your full organs. The lower burner and the middle burner and the triple burner. You must purge them out and keep them strong and stimulate them. And once you stimulate them, in no way your cancer going to kill you. And that is the reason why the woman in Grenada today, she's still living. Why? She's still eating. Why? Because I tonified her organs and I stimulated her organs and I gave her angio blockers to train the tumors. She's not getting no tumor pain. She sleeps at night and she's eating better now because I stimulated her organ system. Yeah. And I purified her blood. And I purged all her full organs because she was constipated. And the tumor now in the pancreas is gone down drastically where there's no pain in her pancreas. So then the doctors over here and were saying, oh, we're going to give you some chemotherapy. After we give you the chemotherapy, you go to Patrick Dells. Now they are going to understand how we work, because we could work together. You have to use the herbs that will create apoptosis or cell death. And once you can use the herbs, fleece flower root, baishao, donqui, Romania, licorice, conopsis, cordyceps, chaga, maitake, shiitake, gandoderma, they will help your cells to create apoptosis, cell death. And once your cell can create apoptosis, in no way they could mutate and cause you to get cancer long term. But if you eat in the night time, there you go. See? Yeah. And your blockers. Yeah, man. So, you know, it's, if I get a chance, I could work with some doctors and we could save a lot of people. We could save lots of people. But you eat at night, you have a lot of hate in your heart, you don't want to forgive, you don't want to forget, you're bad mind, every day you're gossiping about people's business, you don't want to get no fresh air, you don't go up in the mountain and pray. Yeah, all these things you have to do. All these things like hate and envy and jealousy and bad mind and gossip, you have to leave them alone. Don't deal with them. The negativity to the mind. And the mind is where you can heal. You have to leave these things alone and come out in the atmosphere, go in the mountain and pray and get fresh air, like we did yesterday. We have some clients from the UK that's here. I took them to the mountain yesterday in Granite Town. We went up in the hills and we get some fresh air and we do Tai Chi. We breathe. We breathe. We breathe. Fresh air, oxygen. And we go back to nature. You follow? Yeah. But you go take the chemotherapy and you come back home, your head dropping, you can't eat because the chemo kill all the good cells, all the cells in your stomach gone. Oh, I can't eat, the chemo killing, man, I'm feeling so sick. Why? Because you're not taking these guys right here. No. Why taking your chemotherapy? And glutathione. Replenish them. Because glutathione is your savior. Glutathione is your savior. It is the most abundant antioxidant in the body made by your liver, and is very significant in the thymus gland. Cellular regeneration. Glutathione. But your chemotherapy kills glutathione. It kills it off. So how you gonna fix cancer? By killing off glutathione. How you going to fix cancer taking Taxol that suppresses the bone marrow? And you know for a fact that all the cells, the plasma cells, come from the bone marrow. And Taxol suppresses them. Yeah? So how you going to fix cancer with Taxol that suppresses the bone marrow? And when the bone marrow is suppressed, the thymus gland is going to be suppressed. When the thymus gland is suppressed, the spleen is going to be suppressed. When the spleen is suppressed, the lymphatic system is going to be suppressed because they are your healers and they are your killers. Man. They don't teach you them things. You follow me? So I want you to go on programs. I'm going to teach you how to go on programs to not only prevent cancer, but to treat it and cure it yourself, because you are the cure. And if you are taking chemotherapy, educate your doctor on the side effects of the chemo that you are taking. Educate yourself on the chemotherapy that you are taking. Look at the side effects. And then you can come out and go into nature and conquer the side effects of the chemotherapy if you choose to take that. Yeah? But after you take the chemotherapy, make sure that you come out and go back to the earth for your cures. Because your cancer could always come back. Taking natural treatment or not. If you don't do the right thing. See the way the sun said. Minerals. Angioblockers. Wellness funnel. Call Ashanti. 718-469-0985. And when you have cancer, when you are in the progression stage, you must take omegas. You must take vitamin C. You must take them buffered vitamin C, 15,000 milligrams per day, buffered, to keep the pH at 7.7, 7.45 in solution. You must take IP6 to triple the NK cells. You must take them. You must go to the minerals to alkaline the blood. Because your blood must be alkaline. Because your body functions on minerals and vitamins and enzymes. Oh my goodness. And amino acids. So if you're not going to feed these cells these things, how are you going to fix your cancer? You can't fix it. You can't. You'll never do it. You're going to suffer, and when you're going to get side effects, you're going to cry them, you're going to bawl all day. Oh, I can't move. I'm so weak because of the chemo killed me. The chemo take my thing. The radiation killed me, give me cancer in the bones. Because radiation gives you secondary cancers. Radiation gives you secondary cancers. Radiation burn you up. Chemotherapy also gives you neuropathy. So you have to educate your doctor and say, Doc, I am getting neuropathy. I need some B complex. I need magnesium. I need circulation herbs. I need nervines to fix my nerves. Educate them. Because you can't do that. Blessed love to everybody. Good night. And don't forget to leave your weapons at home. And love your neighbor as yourself. God is love. And we are back in New York. I want to stay home for a little while. We have some patients here from abroad. We have 5 people here. And they're all feeling so good. And they're going back from the UK, and we are giving them some good foods. We are teaching them how to use the supplements and herbs, and they feel so good when they go back. They're going to teach somebody else. Yeah. So we're going to cut short the stay in Grenada because I want to go back to New York to help my friend. I'm going to have her as a testimonial because although she removed her cervix, she removed her uterus, she removed her ovaries, and take all the chemotherapy, and she's still crying with pain and suffering because the cancer is still come back and went to her stomach. And I'm going to show them how God, the ultimate healer, can fix or repair anything. Blessed Lord. It's done. Thank you, son. I love you, man. All right, we give thanks. Everybody have a nice night, and I will see you all sometime next week. I don't know how long I will be in New York for because a lot of time we have some products to send out, but Amazon sent us the wrong bottles. So instead of sending us the 2 ounce bottles, Amazon sent us a very small bottle, small like this, so we had to send them back. So I think some are coming in tomorrow, so the orders will be out by Saturday, so please be patient, okay? Give thanks, and I'll see you all next week in New York by Ambrosia. Blessed and love. Shante, give thanks. Love you, my brother. And this is the, don't forget, Ambrosia have our own supplements by Ambrosia right now. We have lysine, we have GTF chromium, we have enzymes, We have everything from Ambrosia with our own labels now. So we don't have to depend on other people for the stuff. We can make our own thing. And that's why I said before that black people, we have to come together and build our own empire like everybody else. And stop hating your brother and stop dealing with the Willie Lynch syndrome. And support your brothers and your sisters, because at the end of the day, we are the most mightiest on the earth, but yet we are the most downtrodden. Blessed love to everybody. Give thanks. Don't forget.